for tuning in to Beacon Marketing's Beacon 5. 5 things you know about marketing this week. My name is Roger Gallegos. I'm the founder and CEO of Beacon Marketing. This week I'm continuing my Versus series where I'm looking at some key decisions that every business owner has to make when it comes to marketing themselves and their business. These decisions include which marketing channel you should focus your initial marketing efforts on, whether you should go with digital marketing efforts versus traditional, or whether you should hire outside help. These are important decisions that impact your budget, the time you personally spend in marketing your business, and your overall success that the investment you are making into promoting and growing your business will have, the impact that it will have. So you want to make sure you understand what these decisions look like and how they might impact you. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Today's video, we're going to be actually focusing on paid advertising versus organic. Now, this is something I often get asked, Roger, is it worth doing paid advertising? So that's what we're going to kind of delve into by looking at the pros and cons of each, and then coming up with a final conclusion where so you can help better frame the question for your business. Because when and I'll get to the conclusion later, I won't ruin it here, but so we're going to start off with the organic pros, like reasons why you should go with or just stick with organic measures. First off, you could just save money. You're not spending that money, you're saving it. You could spend it on maybe hiring some help or just putting it away or spending it for other areas of your business. You're saving that money. Secondly, when you're building organically, you tend to build a more loyal audience and a loyal base because you're not going out there and paying for leads. You're not paying for people to get attention, so it's coming through word of mouth or friends that you know or family that you know. So they tend to be more loyal when you stick with an organic method. So that's the reason why. On the flip side, the organic cons is it just takes time and because you're not getting that. So sometimes it can take a long time to build up that notoriety within your community, to get that reputation, for that word of mouth to spread. And then any marketing that you do, whether it's your website, social media, email marketing, you're not quite sure if anything is sticking, because it's hard to tell if you don't have that large enough audience, because the sample size might be too small to really dig deep into the analytics and glean any useful information. So on the organic pros, you have saved money, build a more loyal audience. Organic cons, you have it takes a longer time and you're not quite sure what works. So that's the pros and cons for the organic side. Moving to the paid, to go for paid advertising. When I say paid advertising, this means radio. This is like traditional methods like radio, TV, or print like newspaper, or Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, Google ads, AdWords, those type of things. So on the pro side, you could generate quick leads. It's faster. You're putting information out there. You are generating leads. They have most of these platforms have some great analytics, so you understand what's working, what's not working. You could drill down and really hone your messaging, hone your audience, so you understand who you're speaking to, what language works, and you're just generating that revenue. So if you have it, great, and you're generating that income. On the con side of it is the money. So if you don't have the money to really go for it, and you really have to kind of factor in some trial and error on this, because rarely you're just going to put an ad out there and see instant results. These platforms are great, but it sometimes takes some time to kind of like the old dial radio stations where you had to zoom, kind of twist the dial a little bit to get it exactly correct. That's sort of what it takes to really maximize your effort. You have to go multiple times. It's not really the platform's fault, because your business, particularly if you're growing or if you're just starting out, you have to refine your audience, refine the message, refine your offer and everything to really get the most of it. So sometimes if you don't have that initial money to make that investment, you may not get the results that you need. So it costs some money. Secondly, depending on how you do it, so if you're paying for the ads and then you're also offering like an actual promotion, like you're doing percentage off. You could actually train your audience to expect those and wait for it. Like a perfect example is I had a client way back when that they did a ton of Groupons, and they were doing Groupons every other month. So they actually trained their audience just to wait for the off month. And so the audience was like, well, I can wait another 3 weeks because they're just going to run a Groupon. And you actually saw their website traffic reflect that. Like every month you would see the spike, and they would just go to book the appointment, and then the next month down. So what they did is they just wasted their kind of promotions on the Groupon, and they just lost a lot of revenue that way. So recapping the paid pros and cons is on the pro side, you're able to generate quick revenue. You have usually a robust set of analytics, so you can kind of hone your messaging, which can be used in your organic efforts. And then on the con side, of course, is the cost. It could take a large sum of money to really get going, to get those initial insights, and then you can be training your audience. So in conclusion, what should you do? Should you go with paid advertising? Should you stick with organic? And some of you may not like this answer, but it really depends on your situation. You really have to first, and this is why strategy development is so key. I hate to continuously harp on this in every one of my videos, but it's kind of what I'm known for. What I'm putting my flag on the ground for is strategy development. You first have to understand where you're at with your business and what you're trying to accomplish and what your resources are. So if you have the money to invest, and maybe what you do is you just spend some money, you spend a little capital to try to grow like your email list. So you get people into your funnel, get people into your ecosystem so they see and they know who you are, so you start building that. So you're not necessarily buying ads to sell something, but you're just trying to grow your influence because you're playing the long game here. You're having a long view of it. So if you have that type of money and you say, you know what, I have $1,000 to play with here, let me try doing that, and you could go with that. Because if you build an audience, let's say you have $1,000 and you spend it wisely and you use it, maybe you build a list of 1,000 to 5,000 people. That's a huge list. That's a great list of people that will come back, probably multiple of that 1,000 based on the products and services that you sell. So paid advertising can really help grow your business depending on your industry, what you're selling, and your services. I've known people who just completely have built a business using paid advertising. The only thing that I caution against is there's this arithmetic growth to it, where you have to spend 300 to get the 500. So for every 500, you have to spend 300. Organic, the method is like exponential, where you're just building this awareness, and it goes like this, and you hit this inflection point where you have enough, you built up enough of an audience, and you built enough information out there where so it's $1, $1, $1, $1, and all of a sudden that same $1 yields you $5 return. And you start getting that, you start seeing that exponential growth. So it just kind of depends. And so my answer in this would be, if you have some money to go out, try to hone in first develop a strategy, understand who your audience is, understand what your unique value proposition is, understand what channels that your audience gets their information on, and hone your messaging, and so you can really drill down and attract that audience and make the most of that money that you're putting into it. If you don't have that money, if it's not a consideration, then I guess this video doesn't have much meaning to you for the decision, because you just don't have it. But what I would continue to try doing is trying to just build your email list and get people into your ecosystem, make sure they know about you, and if you get a chance, pay down the line, because I think paid advertising does have its utility. I've tried it, I've had some success with it, but you really have to make sure that you understand what you're going for. The more focused you are, the better results that you'll be. So if you have the opportunity, go with it. It's a good investment, but you just have to make sure that you understand what you're doing and what you're getting yourself into. So that's it for me today. As always, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let me know where you are at with your marketing journey. If you've tried paid advertising, if so, what experience have you had? Has it worked for you? What worked? What didn't work? Those type of things. I'd love to hear it. Secondly, in the description below, I'll put a link to the blog that covers this topic. I will also put a link to schedule a free 30-minute discovery session where I we sit down and we see where you're at in your marketing journey, how Beacon Marketing and I in particular might be able to help you. And then lastly, I'll put a link in there for you to sign up for my email newsletter, for my mailing list, where I send out some good information once in a while, and you'll be better for that. So that's it for me today. This has been Beacon Marketing's Beacon 5 things you need to know about marketing. My name is Roger Gallegos, founder and CEO of Beacon Marketing. Please stay tuned next week.